And that has not gone away. You've had a great year for club and country, winning the Scudetto in your first season in Italy, the Nations League with Portugal as well. You love a challenge. How has this first year in Italy been for you?
When the seagulls follow the trawler, it's because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.
Amazing. It was a special year because I moved on. I was 9 years in Real Madrid, and to move to Italian league was a big move, but it was good. The year was amazing. I won 3 titles, the Super Cup, Serie A, and Nationals Cup against Holland, which is fantastic.
Nice to see Virgil
yes,
again.
I have to say Holland. And it was good. Individual, I did very well, and collective as well. So amazing year, and I'm so glad. Another year, another record, so perfect.
Now, we haven't had you both together for a while, so while you're both here, we noticed you've been talking a lot. Do you miss him?
When the seagulls follow the trawler.
¿Te extraña o no? Es la pregunta.
¿Para él o para mí?
No, tú a él.
Ah, quieres los dos,
Sí.
ok. El que conteste primero.
It's because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.
Sí, yo ya lo
¿Sí?
dije en su momento, era lindo
Lloré
tenerlo.
mucho por Cristiano.
Era una rivalidad linda, sobre todo porque estaba en el Madrid también y bueno, ahora está en un gran equipo también y lo vemos desde España.
No, es español.
No, English. I think, yeah.
I was curious because we shared this stage 15 years, me and him. I don't know if this ever happened in football. The same 2 guys in the same stage all the time. So it's not easy, as you know. And of course we have a good relationship. We not had a dinner together yet, but I
Really?
hope in the future.
You're in Monaco tonight.
It is nice. Of course, I miss to play in Spain. We have that battle the last 15 years, which is good. He pushed me and I push him as well. So it's good to be part of history of football. I'm there, and of course he's there as well.
You had a recent interview, didn't you? Taken a little bit out of context, saying that you're going to retire next year. I think it's very clear for you that you're not retiring just yet. You'll be around for a while. Can we just ask you to make sure you retire at the same time as Leo?
Well,
Que termine su carrera al mismo momento que tú.
he's 2 years younger than me, I
So
think.
keep going. No?
But I think I look good for my age. I'm still. I'm not bad. So I hope to be here next year, and in 2 years, in 3 years. So the people who don't like me, they're gonna see me here.
The haters are all part of it, aren't they, Cristiano? I mean, we want to see the...
When the seagulls follow the trawler, it's because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea.
All 8 groups, 2 European heavyweights in Group A, Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid in there. Tottenham in a tricky group in Group B with Bayern Munich in there. They also have Olympiacos and a tough trip to Red Star Belgrade as well, their stadium. Always an intense atmosphere. It's a good group for Man City there with Shakhtar Donetsk, Dinamo Zagreb and Atalanta, who are Champions League debutants. City, though, drawn with Shakhtar 3 seasons running now, and you've got Juve and Atletico paired together in Group D. I think Liverpool will also be pretty happy as well. They're paired with Napoli again, who they played last season. Both teams winning the home leg 1-0 in those meetings. They've also got FC Salzburg, who've never made it out of the groups before, and a trip to Belgium to play Genk. In Group F, Barca are in there, Dortmund, Inter and Slavia Prague. That one looking like a very tricky group. And Group H, Chelsea, I think Frank Lampard will be rather happy with that draw. They've got last season's semi-finalist Ajax in there, but also Valencia and Lille. So plenty to discuss. We'll get the thoughts of Michael, Glenn and Jermaine very shortly and dissect all of that, plus get more reaction in their group games. Group F looks a cracker with Barcelona, Dortmund and Inter in there. And Chelsea, I think, will also be quite pleased with Ajax, Valencia and Lille. Michael, Owen, Glenn Hoddle and Jermaine Genus watching all of that unfold in the studio. Michael, your initial reaction, do you think all the English sides can be fairly pleased?
Fairly. Definitely Liverpool and definitely Manchester City. I think Chelsea's is a group where you could give everybody a chance. I think it's a very, very equal group, that one. Of course, Tottenham have got Bayern Munich, which is the standout team. They've also got a tricky trip to Greece. But in general, I think, you know, English teams will be reasonably happy. And I still fancy all four to go through.
How do you feel about that Tottenham draw, Glenn?
Yeah, I think they're going to have to perform away from home in that group really well. You know, you hope they take home advantage, of course, but Olympiacos and Red Star away, and obviously Bayern Munich will be tough, but those away games are going to be really tough for Tottenham, and they've really got to perform. But I'm optimistic like Michael. I think all four teams can get through to the last 16.
Yeah, they've got a couple of intense trips in there, Tottenham, as well, haven't they, in terms of the atmosphere with Bayern and Red Star. Red Star Belgrade beating Liverpool in the group stage at home last season as well.
Always a tricky place to go and play football, essentially. I think the way I see it now, though, you know, Tottenham have no excuses with it. And they've been a part of the competition now for a good couple of years. They know that they can be fierce games going to Olympiacos and Red Star, but I still fancy them to go through. You know, for me personally, I think Group H is a really interesting group, Chelsea's group. I think it's probably the most evenly matched group I think I've ever seen in the Champions League. You know, Chelsea in transition, good Ajax team, Valencia coming back last year, obviously, in the Liga, and Lille, you know, are always kind of a good young side. So I think, you know, that's going to be an interesting group for Frank Lampard.
But Frank should look at that and feel pretty confident of getting out of that group.
Well, I can't pick who's going to go through. It's one of those, it's like a free-for-all, I think, in that particular group. He'll feel a favourite, definitely, don't get me wrong, but I do, you know, there's some surprise packages, I think, you know, within there, some good games.
What about Liverpool's group then, Michael? As you said, they'll be very pleased in there. They do have Napoli in there again. The home leg was won by the home side, 1-0 last season. Nothing really to trouble them there. You'd expect them to top that group?
Yeah, definitely. I think they'll be delighted with it. I think the countries that they're flying to are good ones in terms of getting there, the distance they'll have to travel. This was a funny game last season. Liverpool played totally the opposite to how they normally play. Sat back and almost tried to play for the draw and got done in last minute or so. And then the pressure was... but when the pressure's on at Anfield, we all know the result. But no, it was two very good games, but of course you've got a little bit of, you know, time to manoeuvre, to have a little bit of an average result or two in the group stage, and I think with what they've got, even a mistake or two against Napoli, I still fancy them to progress.
Of course, Carlo Ancelotti leading Napoli certainly knows his way around the Champions League, won it 3 times, but have they really got enough in that squad to trouble the best in Europe?
No, I don't think they have. They certainly, I don't think will trouble Liverpool. I really think they're going to be too powerful, too confident, after, you know, they're champions after all. And they've got that 12th man, as we've been talking about Anfield, if they do come unstuck at any stage, you know, going back to Anfield is obviously a massive plus for them. So I can only see Liverpool winning that group. I really can.
They do need to improve their away form in the competition this season. They didn't win any of the away group games last season, relied completely on that Anfield atmosphere.
If they want to make it more comfortable, yes, but I'm not that concerned about it, to be honest with you, because what they do at Anfield is they win games, and they win when it matters, no matter how, whether they need 3, 4 or 5 goals, you're always confident they're going to go and do it. Look, I think within Champions League games away from home, they're just always difficult games, and you always get surprises. And you have the odd one that, you know, like last year, Liverpool had a couple with City. But essentially, with Liverpool, I'm never that worried that they're not going to get through their group.
Jurgen Klopp wants to create that mentality of winning trophies now. He says he wants the players to stay greedy now they've won that Champions League. That Super Cup win in Istanbul will have certainly helped.
I think it's easier once you win one. I think, you know, the fear of losing, the fear of teams being better than you after that, is a bigger driver than actually getting over the hurdle of winning your first one. The first one's a big one to win. Of course, they've gone and won the Super Cup as well now. So 2 trophies in the blink of an eye. And, you know, with the way they're playing, the way Liverpool started the season as well, the way the draw has gone, you can only see Liverpool picking up more and more trophies in the future years.
And that carrot of the final being in Istanbul as well.
Yeah, lucky omen, of course. Virgil van Dijk mentioned winning the Super Cup there, but I think if you mention Istanbul to Liverpool fans, their thoughts will immediately go to the unbelievable comeback against AC Milan. So yeah, it's been a great place for Liverpool over the years.
What are your thoughts then on Man City's group, Glenn? They'll be very happy, I'm sure. They've got a couple of intense atmospheres as well to head to in their group with Shakhtar and Atalanta as well. It's a feisty place to go.
Well, it is, but you've got to say Man City will come out of that group, and they should come out as winners as well. It's not like they've got another one in there that you go, wow, that's going to be a hell of a game, the heavyweights. They should be too powerful for their 3 opponents, and it's about winning your group, don't forget, as well, which is important. So yeah, I think that's a really, really good group for them, in the sense that possibly if you've got some heavyweights in there, you might have to think about playing it, but he might be able to tinker with his league games, with the Premier League games leading up to that. So you haven't got to play yet. I don't think City have got to play their absolute best 11 in that.
It's going to help him fighting on the 2 fronts.
Yeah, with the squad that he's got as well, I think that's going to be very helpful for him.
Oh, 4.
We are confident. We are Juventus, and we're looking forward to do it, to start well the Champions League. And as you know, it is a difficult competition to win, but we are very confident for this year.
What would it mean to you to take the Champions League trophy to Juventus? You arrived there last season. Won the league. Do that this term?
Well, I don't know what's going to happen this year, but when the year starts, I'm always confident. And then this year, I'm not change my mind. Last year was amazing. We win the Super Cup, we win the Serie A. I won the Nationals Cup for Portugal. So this year we try to do the same. The Champions League, Serie A, we have the Euro Cup year as well. So step by step, and we will see what's going to happen.
Thank you for your time. We wish you the best. Thank you
very much.
He's always confident. His powers don't seem to be waning either. They've got Atletico, who they knocked out in the round of 16 last year. They've got a very strong squad. You can see why they're a lot of people's favourites this year, Juventus.
Yeah, lots of good signings. Obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo being in the team gives you a chance no matter who and what team you're playing. Atletico Madrid is a very, very difficult tie, but I'm pretty sure that they'll be sick of the sight of him, all the damage he's done to them over the season. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty much you'd expect those 2 big hitters to go through that group. And you're right, I think Juventus are probably one of the teams this season that could, could win it. There's probably half a dozen, I would say, that are realistic chances of winning. Juve is certainly in that.
Of all the English sides, Tottenham the only ones with a European heavyweight in their group, Jermaine, in Bayern Munich, aren't they? But they got out of a group with Inter, with Barcelona in last season. They shouldn't really fear any big hitter, should they?
Oh, well, look, I mean, I think some people would class Inter as a football club as a big hitter, but I think if they caught Inter Milan in a time where they're in transition themselves. They're a lot stronger this year, Inter, than they were last year. And it's similar for Bayern Munich. They've lost, obviously, Robin, they've lost Ribery. I know they've brought in Coutinho and the window's still open, but this is not a Bayern Munich of 3-4 years ago.
They're in transition, aren't they?
Very much so, It's a very tough place to go. There was talks, about 2-3 weeks ago of Lewandowski not entirely happy with the fact that they hadn't done enough business to strengthen them as a European force. But it's still going to be a tough place to go and get a result. But, if you're going to play Bayern, I would say that now is a very good time to try and get them.
OK, well, let's see what Petr Cech made of Chelsea's draw. He's talking to Emma.
Well, Petr, if I can start by getting your reaction to that draw, Ajax, Valencia and Lille, what are your thoughts on it?
It's not an easy group because, I think it's a very even group. All teams have a lot of quality and I think it's one of those groups where everybody can beat everybody, so this makes it very interesting. But I think we can be satisfied with with the draw. We avoided long travel, so I think it's one of the positives.
And a unique situation in current footballing terms that I don't think that Chelsea have played Ajax before, or Lille, we believe.
No, there are new teams for Chelsea fans and for the club, so it's going to be a new interesting encounter. But as I said, Ajax had a fantastic season last season, so obviously they will want to repeat that. But we're looking forward to the challenge, and I hope that we're going to go through, obviously.
What are the expectations as far as Europe are concerned from a Chelsea perspective this season?
Well, we would like to do as best as possible. So obviously compete in every game, try to win and go through the group stage, and then once you reach the knockout stages, then anything can happen. So we will see how we go. But I said the first target is obviously try to go through the group stage and qualify the next round.
And we saw you up on stage doing the draw. How was that for you? Was it nerve-wracking?
It's a new experience for me, and I enjoy that because it's something I've never done before, and obviously it's an honor as well to be a part of the draw. So hopefully the football fans will have some interesting games to see.
I think the Chelsea fans will be happy. Thank you for your time, Peter.
No problem, thank you.
Chelsea with Ajax, Valencia and Lille in their group. It could have been an awful lot worse for them. What do you think that the expectations are, Glenn, on Frank Lampard in this competition?
Well, I think certainly now looking at the group, it's a tough group, but it's going to be close. That's not going to be an easy group for Chelsea, but I think they will get through. I like the fact that their opponents are inexperienced to a certain degree. Ajax are a young group of players as well, so there's no sort of heavyweight there that you think, wow, that's going to be tough for Chelsea. But the good thing for England as well is there's a lot of young talent playing for Chelsea at the moment, and we've said in the past that our English talent, can they play in the Champions League?
How big a
They're
step
going to get a chance.
is it for the likes of Mason Mount and Tammy Abraham, bearing in mind they're in the Championship last season?
Nador, you've got loads of English players, Loftus-Cheek, at Chelsea, and I think we've been saying for years they're not getting the opportunities, and now this is a great opportunity for them to actually play in the Champions League, and they're going to grow as players for Chelsea, but it's good for the country as well. It's good for the national team.
Yeah, Gareth Southgate will be pleased, I'm sure. Ajax as well, not the team they were last year. They've lost their two best players, arguably, in Frenkie De Jong and De Ligt as well. So not quite the team who reached the semi-finals last season.
No, it'll be fascinating to see how they do this season. Of course, they've lost a couple of the best players, but you'd think the print is still there for them to play in the same type of formation, the same way. OK, they'll have one or two players that come into the side, but it'll be interesting to see how they do. They could take the competition by storm again, but I think Chelsea probably will have enough. I think it'll be disappointing if they don't qualify. I know you say that they're in transition and things like that, but they are Chelsea at the end of the day. They did come forth and won the Europa League, so I still think they'll be the favourites to win this group.